Today, UC Regents will finally weigh in on UCLA going to the Big Ten. At least it's a definite maybe. Another big name is off the free agent market for the Dodgers, but trust me, you sure as hell didn't want this one. And finally, the Rams have listed their Walking Dead. Hi, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. What the hell am I doing with my life? Do you see the piles of crap that I gotta walk through in a few minutes? It is December 14th, 2022. Hey, if you like the content we've been putting out about LA sports, quickly clack the like button. Quickly clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comments. Because it's going to be cold as hell. Human voices are going to be the only thing that's going to keep me alive, I think. Before we go through the news notes, quick look at the scoreboard. Last night, barn burner out at crypto.com arena. LA rallied from 20 points down, and yet Boston still wound up getting the W in overtime, 122-118. Anthony Davis scored 37 points to lead the Lakers. Disaster for the Kings at Buffalo, 6-0 Sabres. What can I tell you, man? We've been talking about this recently with the Kings. You don't know what you're going to get. They're on a road trip. They also lost 5-0 on this current roadie. What are we supposed to say? Meanwhile, today, Minnesota's going to face the Clippers. That's at 7 o'clock. Big game, by the way, in college hoops. Number 16 UCLA is on a 2-game road trip to the East Coast where they are playing ranked teams. Tonight, they're going to take on number 20 Maryland. That game's at 6 o'clock. For the Bruins, Dylan Andrews was named Pac-12 Player of the Week, or I should say Pac-12 Freshman Player of the Week. Not Amari Bailey. Kind of interesting. And finally, Long Beach State is going to play UCLA at 8 o'clock. But while we're on the topic of the Bruins and the Trojans, it's been, I would say, 6 months since the Bruins and USC said they would leave the Pac-12 to go to the Big Ten. So why the hell are we still talking about the UC Regents, who, by the way, will meet today and allegedly discuss and allegedly decide the Bruins' fate? Well, the answer is easy. That's politics. See, the people who run this state, California, I should say, the people who run California public education, the people who run California higher public education, they want their cut. They say they have your back, they want their cut. They say it's about the students, they want their cut. Don't kid yourselves, they would cut the students in order to get their cut. They would turn cannibal in order to get their cut of the students. So we don't know for sure if a verdict's going to be rendered today. I mean, there was supposed to be one for months. They keep putting the damn thing off, much like me calling my mom on the weekend. Not exactly top of the list, but I'm going to get you the bottom line for you. UC Regents do not have much of an appetite to stop UCLA from leaving for the Big Ten. A source told CBSSports.com he listed the odds of UCLA being denied the opportunity to join the Big Ten at, quote, 2%, unquote. See, one, the Regents surrendered the authority to make athletic decisions to the individual schools that was written down years ago. And number two, they know UCLA is going to make a lot more money by going to the Big Ten. They also know that if the Bruins do not go, then the Big Ten will wind up poaching another team, which means they don't get their cut. Either way, it's not pleasant for the people who run the Pac-12 because if USC and UCLA both join the Big Ten, then the Pac-12 loses their cut. See, for the Pac-12, this continues to be a half-assed approach. The Pac-12 network, can't find it on DirecTV or most cable boxes. Pac-12 network is half-assed. Pac-12 After Dark, half-assed. Now Commissioner George Kliavkoff has been bumping his gums about all the money the conference is going to make by streaming content, which is a lot like how I explained to my wife how Bitcoin was going to make us fabulously wealthy in about a week. The money isn't there yet, according to industry sources. I mean, if you think about it, how many streaming apps do you actually have? after Netflix, Disney Plus, and OnlyFans. Pac-12 After Dark, it's going to be hard to find. How many apps would you have to pay in order to eventually stream Pac-12? So no, this is another pipe dream. It's another pie-in-the-sky wish. Even worse than the money that's not going to be there, do you think the recruits are going to go out of their way to try to find yet another app to put on their smartphone when they can just watch the SEC on network television? So the smart money is the Regents attempting to extort as much money as they can out of UCLA and then giving some of the money to Cal Berkeley and keeping their cut. Late last night, we learned that the free agent market lost yet another top flight free agent shortstop. This is one, though, that the Dodgers, maybe they wanted, but the fans absolutely didn't. Carlos Correa signed a 13-year, $350 million deal to play in San Francisco, and I must tell you, if ever there was somebody I wanted to play in San Francisco, it is an unrepentant cheater whose numbers were inflated by playing in a bandbox in Houston. Good luck matching those numbers out at AT&T Park, pal. This is a bad deal for San Francisco. He's going to be, again, 40 by the time the deal goes up. This is the latest in a line of just ridiculous shortstop signings. You want your shortstop to be one of the most elite athletes out there. You're talking Xavier Bogaerts going to San Diego, Trey Turner leaving LA, going to Philadelphia, and they're all signing deals that will take them into their 40s. What makes you think they're going to be elite that long into the deal? So no, I'm absolutely cool with Carlos Correa going to San Francisco, because now we, as Dodger fans, have 13 glorious years to let him know what we think of him and what we think of the Houston Astros in the process. I'm very happy with that move. Also for the Dodgers, Julio Urias won the Warren Spahn Award. That's given to the best left-handed pitcher in all of baseball. Urias was terrific last year, actually. He was low-key terrific. Nobody actually gave him a lot of push for a Cy Young Award, but the guy had a 2.16 ERA. He allowed less than one base runner in inning. Batters hit 199 against him last year. So yeah, that was actually a hell of a year. Rams coach Sean McVay said Cooper Kupp is unlikely to return this year. Finally, we're starting to get clarity on how many of the Rams are not going to wind up playing, how much of a USFL team this is finally starting to look like. Kupp has missed the last 4 games with an ankle injury. There's 4 games left. McVay said very unlikely. No dice, actually. McVay actually added there's a possibility that Aaron Donald could play. Aaron Donald's missed the last 2. That's also an ankle. I counted 5 other players as definitely gone for the rest of the year. Wide receiver Allen Robinson, left tackle is Joe Noteboom and Alaric Jackson, guard David Edwards, and defensive tackle Ashawn Robinson. If you're a USC football fan, do you think Lincoln Riley got jobbed? They listed coaches of the year for the Pac-12 2 days ago. They announced co-coaches of the year. Lincoln Riley was neither one of them. The Trojans went from 4 wins to a New Year's Six game, and yet the Pac-12, they wind up giving it to Kalen DeBoer of Washington and Jonathan Smith of Oregon State. Now, DeBoer, I don't really have too much of a complaint about. DeBoer was just this less successful than Riley. DeBoer went 4-8 to 10-2, but Jonathan Smith went 9-3. So no, I'm a little bit confused about what's going on with the voting in terms of USC coaches. But I'll be frank, I think Riley understands that he also has bigger fish to fry. See, Riley's mentor died a couple of days ago. You might have heard of him, Mike Leach. Very interesting cat, beloved, not just in college circles, but he was the type of guy who would just talk football with anybody. Very popular for that. You could learn a lot from a guy like Mike Leach. So he dies Monday at the age of 61. Leach basically gave Riley his career. He asked Riley to join him as a coaching assistant at age 19. And on Twitter, Riley thanked Leach, quote, "You changed my life," unquote. An NBA executive said the Lakers' Russell Westbrook is reviving his career and getting high praise across the league by agreeing to come off the bench. The executive was interviewed by Sports Illustrated. He said that comparisons beforehand to Allen Iverson were fair because, according to NBA insiders, had Iverson humbled down, which means come off the bench and played some defense, he could have played 4 or 5 more years in his career. The Clippers' John Wall told Kevin Hart a cute little story about Kobe Bryant. Wall was a rookie with the Wizards. According to him, quote, "I looked up like, damn, I'm guarding the Mamba. I blocked his shot and tried to run it down, but he got to the ball first, made a 3 and said, 'The play goes on, young fella,'" unquote. And as for me, well, let me know what you think in the comments thread. It's a cute little morning going on in LA sports. Let me know what you think about UCLA going to the Big Ten. Let me know what you think about Carlos Correa joining the Dodgers' most bitter rivals. And if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We talk LA sports every day, no matter what state my plane drops me in. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Portel Queso production. Take care.